Hello, Alora. Thank you so much for your post. I really appreciate a lot of the points. I enjoyed reading it very much, but I appreciate the way you broke down and gave examples for each theme that you came up with. I appreciate you highlighting the role of mentorship, highlighting the reframing and reconstructing, restructuring, and understanding of your life and your own life and perspectives, and also highlighting um, the self perception or self image within each group was brought up. I don't think I saw that one until you mentioned it. Then I kind of went back to my head. I was like, oh, yeah, it does work out, and it made me even think about joining the military myself. When I joined the military, my image did change. The way I perceived myself was different. So thank you for highlighting that and making it evident and bringing it to light, because it's definitely something I didn't consider when I was reading. One thing I did know is that no matter which group they was discussed, each one shared things about the differences uh, within the group, within the members of each particular group. So, for example, within the military group, the some of the differences were whether you're enlisted or a commissioned officer, and one of those differences is pay. So, of course, pay is different. So, depending on what you get paid, depending on what your experience is going to be. A young airman with a family, that's another difference, whether you have a family or don't have a family. A young airman with a family, for example, is might likely need to be on food stamps because he's not getting paid very much, versus an officer with a family, young officer with a family, same year, everyone came in the same year, the officer doesn't need to go through that. Um, or if he was a single airman, he doesn't need to be on food stamps. He gets paid enough for singlehood, because ideally military is designed ideally for a single individual, but it's been really morphed into families because no one's going to stay single forever. Um, Also, even Bonnie Ray talked about the different stages of grief. So each individual, depending on what stage of grief they're in, or what stage of the divorce process they're in, will need a different type of counseling or different type of mentorship. And similarly with the addiction, the young man that shared his testimony with the addiction shared about the different phases of addiction, and it made me think that within I never really considered that within each of those phases there's going to be a different need, because the person is at a different place. So I think it's important that while we do see these groups and acknowledge that this person is part of this community, that we don't lose sight that despite being part of this community, they're an individual, and that they're going to have individual needs for what they're going through in the moment. And that even will fluctuate for each individual depending where they're at. Again, thank you for your post. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, and it really opened up my eyes to some new views. So I wanted to also get your perspective on each of these groups, the diversity within them. How do you see that playing in counseling and in mentoring the different clients? Have a blessed day.